on a busy stretch of road in Bullitt County. Often just a way to get from point A to B.
I come through here every morning at 7, every evening at 4:30.
A single traffic light, the only thing stopping drivers on their way. Blink, and you might miss it.
Actually, that piece of holly, I put that up there this morning.
But Angela Douglas didn't.
A couple months ago, I seen it growing through the concrete, and I was like, that's amazing.
She saw what so many others didn't.
There's a reason it came up there.
A little tree, barely more than a branch, forced her to pause on her way.
It looked lonely to me. I felt bad for it. I don't know, I just wanted to make it happy.
Douglas and her wife added a bright red ornament, a little color on an otherwise drab highway.
It started out like the big red ornament for Charlie Brown's Christmas tree. We had some little presents. The candle with the cross, which of course I lit it.
Then something happened.
The candy canes, the Santa Claus.
Other people started to pay attention.
One lady added a tree skirt and she messaged me that said it needed a tree skirt. It excites me every time I see something new under the little tree.
That single red ornament made people stop and take notice.
The tree is awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
The display continues to grow as more and more add to the little tree.
Wow, these people really care just as much as we do.
And with every addition, a chance to spread holiday cheer.
Christmas is a hard time for some, financially, and people that lost loved ones. And it's hard on some, and they just need a little hope, and joy and cheer in their life. If that makes somebody happy, that's great. Yeah. Takes a little bit of sadness out of their day.
A little Christmas in an unlikely spot. Spreading hope to those who need it this holiday season.
That little tree gives a little people hope that anything's possible. That little tree come through concrete. So there is hope.
Back in 2015, I came across an elderly man outside mowing his lawn. And it looked like he was struggling, so I pulled over and I helped him out. And that night I decided I'll mow free lawns for the elderly, disabled, single moms, and veterans. I founded an organization in 2016 called Raising Man Lawn Care Service, and that's just what we do. We mow free lawns for the elderly, disabled, single moms, and veterans. I hear the stories all the time that they're on fixed incomes, and it's only so much money they have, and they don't want to use the last bit of funds to get the lawn cut when they have other important stuff to do. We have something called the 50-yard challenge. The 50-yard challenge is a challenge that we have issued to kids around the world to mow 50 free lawns in their community free for the elderly, disabled, single moms, and veterans. You ever cut grass before? They'll make a sign saying, I accept the 50-yard challenge. In return, we will send them a white Raising Man Lawn Care Service t-shirt along with shades and ear protection. All right, we'll do it again? All right, let's go one more time. Let's go. And once they mow 50, we fly to wherever they are, we do lawns with them, and we also give them a brand new mower, weed eater, and blower. And currently we have 255 kids around the United States that are taking part in this challenge, including 1 in Canada, 7 in Bermuda, England, and 3 in Australia. But he wanted to mow, and he took over and said, I got this. He's only about 5 years old.
Gave the number of texts, and he texted back and said, I'm on my way. I thought it was a joke at first. And by the time I got to the door, he was saying, I'm here to cut your grass. Being a single mama of 3 kids, it really helped out a lot.
Some people think with a lawnmower it's not a big difference, but it really is. A lot of kids are playing video games, but we want to show them the importance of giving back to the community.
He's picking up some good qualities as a man that's growing up in this kind of neighborhood. It's hard. He really enjoyed it.
I'm gonna let you go, all right?
To see him cut grass, that was real.
Got it.
At the corner of Broadway and Baxter, in the heart of the city, Cave Hill Cemetery is the final resting place for Louisville's famous and nameless. Undisturbed by the hum of cars, muffled by the lush gardens and encompassing wall. But the oldest part of the cemetery is buzzing. Hives filled with bees, cared for by keeper Rodolfo Bernal.
About 1 million.
Suiting up
And they still go through.
and harvesting honey amongst the graves.
It started with 4 hives. Right now I have 26.
Until 5 years ago, he knew nothing about honeybees. A neighbor had a hive he couldn't care for.
And he said, if you want to take care of them, they are yours.
Now he's the go-to guy.
No, I don't want to be the big guy. I want to I want to connect people.
which is how he ended up the caretaker of Cave Hill's hives.
I wanted to see if there was a difference between the city and the country.
An experiment to see which honey was better. And shockingly, he says this cemetery provides the perfect pollination.
I mean, isn't that amazing or what? Here at Cave Hill and the surrounded neighborhood, there is a huge variety of plants so the bees get food.
Even one of the cemetery's most famous residents is helping with the honey. A swarm of bees captured by the grave of the greatest.
I knew that he was going to do something to bring bees. And he did.
Cave Hill bees produce 60 to 70 gallons of honey between April and August. The cemetery sells some of that honey, a fundraiser to continue to care for the grounds.
Selling honey does benefit the Cave Hill Heritage Foundation in our efforts, our restorative efforts for the long-term preservation of Cave Hill.
The lively residents have also inspired the cemetery to plant a pollinating garden and be more environmentally conscious.
It's made us quickly realize that we have to be careful. What we do is we're applying chemicals to help treat the grass, to maintain the ivy beds and plants that are here in the cemetery.
Yep, this is just a beauty.
Bernal hopes to continue to grow his bee colony. He's looking for other organizations and companies willing to start a swarm.
I want to see if I can make a change in society. I mean, if there is an empty lot, okay, plant some good plants, I give you the bees.
Being the change, one hive at a time.
You're going to turn around, you're going to skate backwards from blue line to blue line.
As John Atchison calls out drills from center ice,
Yep, you're going to come around.
it takes him back to his days in the U.S. Marine Corps.
I was a troop handler, which is a person who trains Marines after they get out of boot camp.
Memories of the action, the intensity, the brotherhood,
Everybody good?
but also other things he, like many veterans, can't forget.
The images or visions or nightmares.
For many service members, returning to civilian life can be a challenge.
You just kind of feel lost, I guess.
You know, we used to be able to go out with our buddies from the military, and we don't have that anymore.
Something that oftentimes can't be replaced. The ice is now that place of belonging.
It's the same as being in the military, you working together towards a common goal. It's fast-paced.
These are the Louisville Ice Warriors, a hockey team made up entirely of veterans.
It's just a way for us to find a new avenue in our lives to get us back to the normal life we used to have.
Atchison was inspired to create the team while watching the Stanley Cup with his sons.
And I saw a team in Michigan that had a veterans team.
And as is the case so often these days, he put a call out for players on Facebook.
Overnight, I had a whole team.
Other veterans looking for a team.
I was in the Marine Corps from 2006 to 2014. Deployed in 2009 to Iraq.
3 years active duty infantry, and then the next 11 years I was National Guard as a machinist.
As they gear up and head out on the ice, practically every branch of the military is represented. A sense of camaraderie that oftentimes comes with teasing.
We talk trash to each other all the time.
But regardless of rank, they come together as a support system.
We want to keep all the guys on the ice. You know, it's just like out in the field. You don't want to leave anybody back there.
Tackling a new mission.
They say 22 people a day, veterans kill themselves, and if just one could have been saved by having a group thing like this that he could have participated in, he or she, that I think that there needs to be more of it.
This is their inaugural season, which means they're building the team from the ground up. They've got the uniforms and 17 players ready to skate, but hockey is an expensive sport, which means Atchison has paid for a lot of it out of his own pocket.
I ended up paying for, I think, 5 or 6 registrations and 4 or 5 jerseys myself.
It's a big investment, but it's worth it because the cost could be much more for veterans struggling off the ice.
It's helped me a lot and the problems that I've had, and it's helping a lot of these guys too, so I'm enjoying it.
Kate Springer, WDRB News.